kick off Week 13 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts.
Ready to get us started, Rodrigo Blankenship.
And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Willis going to throw it right away. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. These two teams met in Nashville earlier in the year with the Titans coming away victorious. So if they can find a way to win here in Indianapolis, they would take the season series 2-0.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on the punt.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
And he goes out right around the 39.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And Taylor, I don't think he got there. No, he did not. Unable to break free, and he's marked short.
The Colts send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at the 10. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And it'll be Titan football.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Yardage-wise, he's in the top handful of backs in the league so far this season. A great run there.
He's going to love that standing when it comes to contract time. But even more so, his team loves it because he gives them an identity and sets a tone.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Inside handoff, Henry. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
3rd down, it's Willis.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore.
And the Colts are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They run once more with Taylor.
And some room to work. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line.
The Colts had 3 and 8 on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, what a response by that defensive unit, Charles, because they just saw their offense throw the interception. They come out there, not only get an interception of their own, but they take it back for the touchdown.
I won't sing it because no one wants to hear that, but perhaps an early case of anything you can do, I can do better between these defenses. A lot of people came to expect the offense to light this game up, but so far, the defenses are stealing the show.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive.
They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
On second down, it's Taylor.
Puts it on the carpet. It's out. It's picked up by the Titans. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
Following the fumble recovery, Willis.
He'll get that complete to Alberto.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards on the play. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And it's caught. And it's a Titans touchdown.
Chigakonkwo,
His 5th touchdown now on the year.
and the Titans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Now the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
It sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard.
And the Titans are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Down at the 35, it'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he will find his big tight end over the middle. Touchdown!
Alberto,
35 yards.
and the Titans have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and 10, Taylor now.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
This is taken at the 23.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that they spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
First and 10, Willis.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
And the Colts are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down.
Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. Finding room at midfield.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Here's 2nd and 8.
That's complete to his running back, Taylor. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18.
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Willis.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And it's a Titans touchdown.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. They'll throw now on the final play. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. So we reach halftime here with the visiting Titans taking the lead into intermission. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Back to throw here.
This one completes Alec Pierce.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A 1st down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
From the gun, it's Taylor. 93 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. In motion left goes a tight end.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
And Brandon, you know that expression, he just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard.
And the Titans are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
They were well aware of the scoreboard as they went into halftime, and they know how tough it's been to put up any kind of points. But if there's a positive after that play, is that they were able to take a shot at the end zone on their opening drive of this half. The negative, though, that shot at 6 ended in an interception, and we know that's not going to jumpstart this struggling offense.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
That's Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker who got in and dropped him to the turf.
No question, that was needed by the defense because they're already trailing by a couple of scores. They had to get off the field without allowing another one. That sack on the first play, that may have derailed this drive.
To try again after the sack.
Willis.
Going right side here, and that's complete. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up third down now. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well.
And here's Rodgers on the return.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A good return there, 17 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. 107 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself how much of that is him with a great performance and how much of that is the defense just loosening up because they have a big lead.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
Rodrigo Blankenship now for the PAT.
And this is up and good. It cuts the lead to 28-10 now.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
It'll be a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll also be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here on this Thursday night.
Here we go.
Second down at 5.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43.
The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down.
Willis with another keeper.
6 yards there on the keeper. It's second down.
A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips.
Willis throws another interception, his 3rd of the game. And the Colts are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
That certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
Yeah, still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Again, it's Taylor.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's a 2nd and 7. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor.
And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48.
160 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
2 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. Got a man complete. It's Taylor.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. They give to Taylor out of the gun.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Okay, ready?
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Titans will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. One advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a 1st down. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Again, it's Henry. Running right through it. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
They find some open field here.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He's brought down there by Kenny Moore. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire 2nd half, but their 1st half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the 1st half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the 2nd half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for Tennessee, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll have a few extra days here now before they face the Lions next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans.
Come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl.